Yes, guys, David Speaks Football here, back again with another video. Listen, madness, right? Madness. Again, I don't want to be a news channel. I'm sure you guys have all the news you need in regards to Diogo Jota. Just unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. I was just finishing my morning classes, coaching clients, and I got the news from my sister, Diogo Jota. I've said that in an English way. Diogo Jota had died alongside his brother in a car crash. I mean, unbelievable. I can only imagine what that family's going through. Listen, diehard Man United fan here, but I'm Portuguese, right? And the biggest compliment I can pay Diogo Jota is when Portugal were in trouble and the manager brought him on, no one would ever complain because you just knew he was going to do something, you know. Dare I say it, massively underrated, I think. Just really went under the radar, in my opinion. Everyone knew he was a baller. Facts, right? But I think he was really up there, like he really was up there. It's mad that I'm saying was, right? I mean, the guy delivered for Liverpool, he delivers for Portugal. He seems to be on the bench more often than not. I know he's had a few injuries. What a player, and what a shame, right? His mum's lost her 2 sons. Incredible. He's got 3 little kids. I mean, I want to say what a way to go out, but it's what makes it sad. He's won the Nations League with Portugal. And a lot of people have been knocking the Nations League as a Mickey Mouse Cup, this, that and the other. Just put that to one side a second, yeah. It means the world to us Portuguese people, winning anything. The absolute world, you know. Up for debate, but that would have meant more, or worst case scenario, just as much to him as winning the Premier League with Liverpool, you know. Winning something with Portugal is massive. Anyway, he won the Nations League with Portugal, won the Premier League with Liverpool, and got married. And then unfortunately this has happened. Again, you know the news, he's driving along the road. Apparently, this is what I've read, I don't know if it's been updated since. He's overtaken someone, and I don't know if he was driving, his brother was driving. He's overtaken someone, had a blowout. The Lambo's gone flying. And they're prone to that, aren't they? Like a Lambo goes flying, smashes itself and sets itself on fire. I don't want to go too far into details, but you start overthinking the scenario, you know. Listen, hopefully he passed away on impact, right? Sad, sad, sad. Rest in peace, Diogo Jota. To finalise this point and move on, right? And get into the reason I'm doing this video. Portugal absolutely have to. Portugal absolutely have to win the World Cup next year. There is no question. There is no hesitation. There's only one result that needs to happen. And it needs to be dedicated to Diogo Jota. And that medal needs to be left on the grass. I can see it now on BBC or ITV or RTP, the Portuguese channel. That medal being left on the grass and the camera panning to that medal, and that's how it ends. That's how the World Cup ends. He deserves that, to be honest. The guy's a humble guy, done his job, scored goals, assisted goals, worked hard, ran his socks off. What a player, what a man Diogo Jota was. Rest in peace, mate, and I really, really hope Portugal can do you proud at the World Cup and dedicate this one to you. But yes, moving on. As we speak now, we are on 61 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. The aim was 50, right? And as you can probably see behind me, the David Speaks Football light is there. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was a bit bigger. But listen, that gives us space to fit another one underneath, right? So when we reach 100... maybe there's another light coming, right? And that light can be Negative Dave or Toxic Dave. and I'll switch it on when it's a video that I know I'm going to be negative and know I'm going to be toxic. So let's reach 100 subscribers. Maybe I should set it to 150. I'm getting too big for my boots here. But thank you to everyone who subscribed, who's watched. Absolutely amazing. I'm so chuffed. I can't believe I don't know how many videos I've done now, but I can't believe it, right? I can't believe that this is happening. And some of you might be watching, what's happening, mate? Like, getting to 61 subscribers is nothing. Listen, it means a lot to me. So thank you to everyone who's done it. Because I got to 50, I bought that light, and I'm very happy to have it up there. That's just made it really real for me. So thank you very much. Keep subscribing if you're watching. It really does help. On to this video. I believe I know the answer, right, as to why it's gone wrong at Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And it's nothing to do with how good a manager he is. It's nothing to do with him having some magic potion or control over the club. Of course, all of those things have an effect. But I truly believe the reason, which I'm going to go through now, it's all gone wrong, is the decisions the managers after him have made in the transfer market. And there is a trend that Ferguson used to follow that every manager after him has not followed, apart from one or two, but not had enough time to follow through with it, right? So before we move on, as in move into this, and I get to explain all of this to you, and what I think the light bulb moment that I've had. Some of you may be like, it's not really a light bulb moment. To me, it is, right? I don't think it's spoken about enough, in my opinion. Haven't heard it from anyone. Haven't seen it on any other news channels or Man United fan channels. Maybe I've missed it, but I've been saying this for absolute years, and it's just so obvious to me, especially when I've dug into it and looked at it. I want to focus on the term Prem proven. Yeah, I'll say that again. It'll probably be up on the screen when I edit this. Prem proven. That is, for those who don't know, a Prem proven player is a player that's, in my books, played in the Premier League for at least 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and shown that they can deal with the Premier League, right? They can deal with the physicality of it, the speed of it. They deliver goals, or whatever position they're in. They defend well. You know what I mean? If they're a midfielder, they can deal with it all. That is what a Prem proven player is to me, right? If we do the old ChatGPT search, I love ChatGPT, and who doesn't, right? Don't deny it, right? Let's have it up on this screen. I've given you my definition, but let's read it officially on ChatGPT. The term Prem proven is most commonly used in the context of English football, soccer, particularly among fans, pundits and analysts discussing transfers. It's an informal term short for Premier League proven, right? Definition of a Prem proven player, right? A player who has already demonstrated that they can perform well in the English Premier League, usually through consistent effective performances over a reasonable period of time. Here's some key elements of being Prem proven. Experience. A player has played a significant number of games in the Premier League. Performance. They have shown they can handle the physicality, pace and tactical demands of the league. And finally, consistency. It's not just about one good season or a few matches. They do it over and over and over again, right? Prem proven. Yeah? We're there. Hopefully you're with me on this. We're on the same page, and you can see, I'm hoping, where I'm heading with this. Sir Alex Ferguson had unbelievable success, right? Let's read out some of his Prem proven signings that he's made throughout managing Manchester United, yeah? I'm saying to you basically right now, when I go through this list, you'll soon realise the backbone of his transfer dealings were grabbing the best players from the other teams in the league. Even if that team had just got relegated, or that team's doing really well in the league, it doesn't matter. Sir Alex Ferguson would grab the best players from every single team in the Premier League. And now and again, sprinkle that with a Juan Sebastian Veron, with a Cristiano Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? With a Ruud van Nistelrooy. But the main transfer market dealings were Prem proven players. Let's just go through a bit of a list here, yeah? Cantona came from Leeds, won us the Premier League. It was a game changer, right? Keane came from Nottingham Forest. They had just got relegated. We know what Roy Keane is to us. We still haven't replaced him. Andy Cole, Newcastle. Dwight York, Aston Villa. Sheringham, Spurs. All three of them a massive staple in our treble winning season, right? Michael Carrick, massively underrated, I think, from Spurs. Berbatov from Spurs. Wayne Rooney from Everton, right? Carlos Tevez from West Ham. Rio Ferdinand, Leeds. Alan Smith, Leeds. Louis Saha, Fulham, right? Robin Van Persie, Arsenal. Probably one of his last major Prem-proven signings, right? That cemented his 20th title. You see, I'm hoping this is kind of clicking for you, right? Maybe you didn't notice it. Some of you will be like, of course I noticed it. But there's a lot that have not noticed this, yeah? He would buy the best players from every other team in the league. So much so, even taking an Arsenal player, yeah? Here's one for you. A lot of you may not have remembered this. Have a little wild guess on who Ferguson's final signing was before he retired, right? Wilfred Zaha from Crystal Palace, right? That was Ferguson's last signing. Before Zaha went off the map and went to the Turkish League and left Crystal Palace, he was linked with Arsenal, right? He was linked with a whole bunch of big clubs. I don't need to explain to you how well Wilfred Zaha ended up performing in the Premier League, right? Prem proven. It was the staple. It was the backbone of Sir Alex Ferguson transfer market dealings, right? And as mentioned before, now and again he'd sprinkled that with a Cristiano Ronaldo, with a Ruud van Nistelrooy, with a Juan Sebastian Veron, with a Vidic, with an Evra, yeah? He did it all the time and it worked for him. He left. He retired, yeah? That's not new news. You know all about that, right? After him retiring, the first manager that took over was David Moyes, right? We all know how that went, but let's forget how it went. I want to just focus on here the signings he made, right? His first major signing was Marouane Fellaini, right? From Everton. Prem proven. Yeah? His second major signing was Juan Mata from Chelsea. Prem proven. Following the trend that had been set before him. There was one other signing there. His name was Varela, which I don't even think ever made it into the first team in the very end. Guillermo Varela, which wasn't a Prem proven signing. Yeah. Didn't work out too great, right? But two of the three were Prem proven, following that trend, following that backbone in the transfer market, right? Of signing Prem proven players when you do sign them, okay? David Moyes was also linked with quite a few others that he could not get, right? Leighton Baines he wanted from Everton. Gareth Bale he tried to get from Tottenham. He just could not get it, yeah? He was massively linked with Cesc Fabregas as well, right? Who I think at the time had already gone back to Barcelona, and he was trying to get him back. But Cesc Fabregas was Prem proven. So Leighton Baines, Gareth Bale, Cesc Fabregas, Prem proven players, right? He followed that. Moyes was not given time. Listen, I was with the United fans at the time and I was like, flipping, get rid of him. We're 7th. We've just won the Premier League. He's shocking. I still don't think that was the right choice, right, at the time. And yeah, listen, it is what it is. But let's stick to what I'm trying to say here because this will really open up your eyes, right? David Moyes was following the transfer strategy, yeah? After David Moyes, we had Louis van Gaal. I'm going to say it straight here before I even go through all of this. He completely fucked it up, bruv. Completely wrecked it, right? And some of these players are decent players, yeah? And some of them that I'm going to read out had a decent career at Man United. But for me, this is where it all started going wrong, yeah? And Herrera. I think he was a great servant for Man United, Luke Shaw. From Southampton, you could argue that's going along with the transfer strategy, right? We all know how this has turned out, but not a bad signing, I'm going to say. It's following the transfer strategy of Prem Proven. Marcos Rojo. Angel Di Maria. Daley Blind. Radamel Falcao. Memphis Depay. Matteo Darmian. I forgot to say his name. Darmian. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Yeah. So I've gone through all of that. Obviously, when I edit this, it will all be all up on the screen, so you don't forget it. Mate. Some of those players, I ain't gonna lie, I was massively excited when we signed Di Maria, when we signed Falcao. We still had Van Persie in the team. We still had Rooney in the team. I mean, Van Persie, Falcao and Rooney. It sounds like something you'd make in Mortal Kombat, mate. It's just unbelievable. But none of these guys that he signed, apart from Luke Shaw, were Prem proven. None of them. None of them were following that strategy. In fact, it was completely throwing that strategy out of the window. And I remember being kind of excited by it, right? I remember being on holiday in Madeira and being like, oh my God, like, we're going and getting like the best players from all around the world. Like, we don't usually do this. Like, we get it now and again, an abroad player, but usually we just get, Premier League players. So I was massively excited by it. Oh my God. I did not realise that it was going to turn into an absolute disaster, right? Van Gaal, he didn't have us playing bad football. It was quite possession-based, but listen, it was nowhere near what Fergie had delivered. We'd got rid of Moyes. We had got Van Gaal to get us back to where Fergie had left us, right? He did not do that. Only one of his signings out of however many there is there, right, were Prem proven. They were all decent players. None of them performed for Man United. It was all shocking. And the Herrera being maybe the exception, okay? But I hope you're seeing a pattern there and seeing what's going on. Oh my God, I've missed a couple here. Sergio Romero, Anthony Martial, also Louis van Gaal signings. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah, Romero, bless him. He was a number 2 goalkeeper for a long time. But yeah, not Prem proven. Anthony Martial. He's part of a Monaco team now with Ansu Fati, Paul Pogba, Minamoto's a bloody motorbike tracker. Minamino and Martial up front. Minamino, Martial, Pogba in behind, Ansu Fati on the left, Martial up front. That's what Monaco is next year. I'm drifting. But those are the signings Van Gaal done. Again, not Prem proven. We've seen how that turned out. Anyway, we move on from Van Gaal. He's done a lot of damage here. Yeah, again, I haven't kept count here. I don't want to scroll back up and go through this. But that's at least 6 or 7 players, if not more, that he's brought into the club that were not Prem proven. He's completely transformed the team, yeah. I'm sure there's one missing here as well that's not come up, and that's Morgan Schneiderlin, yeah. Who was Prem proven, so that's another one I'll give him. But there was a whole bunch of players here that were not Prem proven and was the main business that we did were abroad non-Prem proven players under Louis van Gaal, right? We move on to Jose Mourinho. Let's look through his signings. Henrik Mkhitaryan, not Prem proven, ended up to go into Arsenal. He was actually in the Champions League final this year, playing for Inter Milan. Unbelievable, right? Not Prem proven, didn't do too well at Man United, didn't do too well at Arsenal, right? Eric Bailly had good potential. I did like him. Again, not Prem proven, right? Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He was fantastic for us up until the injury. He's a superstar. He's one of those Ruud van Nistelrooys, one of those Verons that you sprinkle in, right? He's an exception. But again, if we're just talking about the structure and the philosophy of signing players, not Prem proven, right? We move on. Paul Pogba. You could argue he wasn't Prem proven. He left Man United really young. Fergie had got rid of him, right? Went to Juve, performed absolutely brilliantly and consistently over there in Italy. Came to the Premier League. I've made a video on Paul Pogba at Manchester United. He was not terrible. We were very harsh on him. But he wasn't consistent. And that's one of the main traits we read at the beginning about being Prem proven. You got to be consistent, right? But another player who I'd argue was not Prem proven. Romelu Lukaku. Was defo Prem proven. I think this was a good signing, and I used to knock him before. His first touch was absolutely shocking, but this geezer scores goals. Let's have it right, yeah? If we had him in our team now, even now, he'd get double the goals Højlund has got. And that's not difficult, I know, but easily get double the goals Højlund has got. But out of those signings, right, he has got one Prem proven player. All the rest are players that have not played in the Premier League before, right? He also got an Nemanja Matic, who was Prem proven, played for him under Chelsea. So yeah, he's followed the structure there a little bit. And later on, he signed Victor Lindelof, who wasn't Prem proven either. And then he went and dipped his toe in his final big transfer, Alexis Sanchez, who was Prem proven. Now I look at that, it does balance out. Jose Mourinho was not far off. I'd say half of his transfer dealings were Prem proven, the other half weren't. So he wasn't far off. I still say that doesn't follow Fergie's balance. Fergie's balance, I'd say, was 80% Prem proven, 20% absolute superstar. That's it. Right? Jose Mourinho here was not buying superstars when they weren't Prem proven. He was gambling a little bit. But he was buying some quality Prem proven players with Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku, and who was the last one that I've missed here? Nemanja Matic. Yeah. I'll give him that. So he was 50-50 on the philosophy, but I'd say the damage was massively done already by Louis van Gaal, right? And Jose Mourinho increased that also with some of the signings that he got there. I mean, I've just shouted some of them out. Henrik Mkhitaryan, Victor Lindelof. I know he's only just left Man United, but I mean, he wasn't great. He wasn't great for Man United. Steady Eddie, as you'd say, Graham Souness would say, but I mean, he's not even that, to be honest. He's not been great for Man United. Victor Lindelof is not a signing I will remember, to be honest. He's left and I didn't feel nothing of it, right? But hopefully already you're seeing a little bit of a trend of what's going on here. No one except David Moyes, but he was only there for like one transfer window, I believe, and a January one, maybe two. So a summer and a January transfer window, and he was sacked. But the rest so far, Van Gaal has gone completely non-Prem proven. Like maybe one player, two max, out of like 10 signings. Mourinho's gone on a 50-50 ratio. So damage done by Van Gaal and damage done by Mourinho with his signings, yeah? We now move on to Ole Gunnar Solskjær, right? Let's look through. Bruno Fernandes. Again, if you're going to sign someone outside of Prem proven, make sure they're a superstar. Listen, we all know what Bruno Fernandes has been for Manchester United. Excellent signing. 47 million from Sporting Lisbon. Seems like a bargain nowadays, right? Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Great signing also. I don't think we should have let him go. He's better than Dalot 10 times, right? Another Prem proven signing here by Ole, yeah? Well, his first Prem proven signing. I love to see it. I noticed it. I was like, right, we're going back to signing Prem proven players. Next was Daniel James. It wasn't from a Premier League team from what I remember, but it's from the English game. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, he knows the physicality, the pace of it, how it works. And he was decent for us when he was at us. We only had to sell him because we got in Cristiano Ronaldo and we needed to remove some space in the squad. But he was decent for us. Okay, he hasn't gone on to be great with the rest of his career, but he was decent. Harry Maguire, right? Prem proven. Yeah? This is going in the right direction in regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjær. One superstar and 3 Prem proven players, right? And why do you think Ole's getting this right? And when I say getting it right, why do you think Ole's getting it right according to Fergie's philosophy? He worked under Fergie, probably spoke to Fergie about all of this stuff. He wasn't silly, yeah? Odion Ighalo, Prem proven, yeah? This was also mid-season. Fergie used to love to do this, get a Henrik Larsson or get a Michael Owen in, an extra striker to get you those extra few goals at the crunch time of the season. Ole did the same thing. He got Ighalo in, right? Prem proven. He had played for Watford. We had got him from Shanghai Shenhui, or however you say this. Short-term backup striker during injuries and COVID-19 pause. But he was Prem proven. Fantastic again from Ollie. That's like out of 5 signings, 4 of them Prem proven. The other one's a superstar. We then move on to Edison Cavani. Superstar. Got no issues with that. Not Prem proven, but an absolute superstar. Worked out well, did well for us. Here we go now. Signing number 7. Before signing number 7, Ollie was bloody second in the Premier League and almost won a Europa League from what I remember. Lost it in the final, right? We were looking good. And then we hit this transfer window. Ollie's final one. Jadon Sancho. Not Prem proven. Went to Dortmund, lit it up. Didn't do anything in the Premier League for Man City or anything like that. Has come to the Premier League and has been absolutely found out. I mean, he's been shit for Man United. He's been shit for Chelsea. No matter where the fella goes, he can follow Jesse Lingard's route and go Nottingham Forest. He'd be shit for them as well. He's too slow. Not Prem proven here, Ollie. I was excited about this transfer window. I'm going to say it out loud now before I've even put them on the screen. Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo. All right? I thought we're winning the Premier League. We've finished second. We've got these boys in. We're going for it. This is the first window Ollie's gone for 2 out of the 3 not being Prem proven. And it didn't work out. Varane was okay for us. Injury prone. Not great. Jadon Sancho, an absolute waste of money and time. Completely. It's still affecting us now, right? Cristiano Ronaldo was Prem proven and he delivered. I don't care what anyone says. A lot of people are like, he changed the system, he changed the way. Mate, he delivered. He scored goals. He was banging hat-tricks against bloody Spurs. And I don't remember who the other hat-trick was against. I think it was Norwich. The geezer was immense, right? Ollie followed Fergie's philosophy until his final transfer window, and that's when it all started going wrong, right? That's my opinion. We move on to Erik Ten Hag. Mate, I don't know what it is about these Dutch managers, yeah? But Louis van Gaal set the trend and completely fucked our squad. Completely fucked it up, yeah? Wrecked it. By out of his like 10, 12 signings, I think 10 of them were not Prem proven. They were just all players. None of them, well, 1 or 2 of them were superstars. But none of them were Prem proven, and it showed the effects of that. That carried on into Jose, who 50-50 went Prem proven, non-Prem proven. Carried on into Ollie, who went back to the philosophy, and I'd argue we looked the best under Ollie following that counter-attacking football. We were second in the Premier League. I know we did that under Jose and won a lot of trophies under Jose. But Ollie, we looked like our old selves. Let's be really honest here. Right? And he was following this Fergie philosophy until his final transfer window, and he abandoned it. We now move on to Ten Hag. Lisandro Martinez. I'm not even going to go into how good they've been for us, yeah? You guys, this is very current. You know what they've been. Let me just go through the players. Lisandro Martinez, Anthony, Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, Prem proven, Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount, and Sergio Reguilon, right? Tyrell Malacia. Trying to think if there's any more I've missed here, right? Let's go back to the top of this and let me read through this one more time, right? Lisandro Martinez, Anthony, Casemiro, right? Rasmus Højlund, yeah? Mason Mount, and how can I forget Andre Onana? Absolutely none of these, right? Tyrell Malacia, who I've just missed out repeating again. Absolutely none of these are Prem proven. Apart from Mason Mount, who, I mean, since he signed to us, his body's like, his knees are quavers, mate. His legs are quavers, his whole body's a quaver. He is consistently injured all the time. Although he was Prem proven, it's not worked out. Christian Eriksen, bless him, the fact he's even played for Manchester United after basically dying on the pitch is unbelievable. What a legend. But, I mean, in the most respectful way saying this, Manchester United should not be signing someone who's gone into cardiac arrest at a tournament, you know, and practically almost died on the pitch. He was a free transfer. But again, absolutely inspiring, right? He should not be playing for Man United. Ten Hag absolutely wrecked Manchester United. Absolutely. I mean, I've said it loads of times in previous. He has taken us into the depths. He was practically a plague for us. Yeah, he was COVID-19. I've got to be careful what I say, right? Because a lot of people have gotten sick and lost loved ones to some of these things. But he was atrocious for us and completely wrecked our squad. And it was as if he was the second coming of Louis van Gaal, right, in regards to transfers. He completely ruined us. Ruined our squad. Ruined the whole thing. I mean, we look at our team now and it's a team that we just do not want, you know. There's a few here that I've missed out that are not even up to date that I'm looking at in my head, right? Ugarte, just before he left, I'm sure that was Ten Hag. He's not been great. He's not been great at all, you know. In fact, I'm thinking, what the hell? PSG have just sold him to us and gone and won the bloody treble. Gone and won the Champions League. I think we paid like 60 odd million for him. They must be laughing at us, PSG. Again, a non-prem proven signing. Oh my God. Ten Hag completely wrecked our team. Completely. We now move on to Amorim. And he signed Dorgu. That's his first signing. And now he's signed Cunha. He seems like he's going to sign in Mbeumo. We've lately been linked with Watkins. If there's a goalkeeper we've been linked with, it's Emi Martinez. You see where I'm going with this? These are all Prem proven players apart from Dorgu. I really hope Amorim follows this trend that Fergie used to follow. Because this is the trend that's going to get us back on top. Yeah? To summarise this video, right? Ferguson only ever used to get Prem proven players. Cantona, Keane, Cole, York, Sheringham, Carrick, Berbatov, Rooney, Tevez, Van Persie, Ferdinand, Alan Smith, Louis Saha. His final signing was Wilfred Zaha, Fergie. Yeah. Ever since then, managers like Moyes followed the trend but didn't last long enough. Van Gaal only signed players that were from out. He didn't follow that. He didn't follow Premier League proven signings. He went for abroad, right? Jose did practically the same thing. Oli tried to follow that trend, and I'd argue that's the best we've looked. But in his final transfer window, did not follow that trend. And you've seen how that turned out. That got him the sack. Ten Hag came and completely abandoned that trend and has sent us almost into relegation. Right? Amorim has been managing that Ten Hag team ever since. Jury's out on Amorim, and that's for another video. But it seems like Amorim signing Cunha, being linked with Mbeumo, being linked with Watkins, being linked with Emi Martinez is heading in the correct direction and the philosophy that Fergie used to follow. But the reason Man United have gone into the gutter is because every single manager post-Ferguson have signed non-Prem proven players. They've signed players from abroad, and it's completely wrecked our team and our culture. It has fucked it, right? I'm all for players abroad, but please make sure 80% of your signings, like Fergie, are from all the teams in the Premier League, and then sprinkle it with a superstar. Simple as. This is why Man United have gone down the gutter. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Sorry if I was waffling and that was a long one. Keep subscribing so I could get more lights into this room. Let me know if you agree. This is why it's gone wrong. And if this has been a light bulb moment for you, please comment and let me know, right? Thanks again for watching this video. See you on the next one. Boom.